Welcome back to episode 2, season 1 of Biz Frank Talk with Nzali. Our guest today is somebody that has been in the industry for quite some time. A woman who has hustled and she has been to all the floors of any office trying to get business. We have with us Mpho Mpatane. She will introduce herself. But before she does that, I would like to introduce our theme today. We're just going to look at procurement challenges for small businesses. We know that small businesses are going through challenges now during COVID, where they can't even go to the office to knock or to drop a CV or a profile. But now the question is, how do they survive? How do we get business at this hour and at this time? So with us, I believe that Mpho will help us somehow because she's also a business coach. So she'll be able to advise us. But mainly, she will also give us an overview of the challenges that small businesses are facing on procurement. Mpho, welcome to Biz Frank Talk.
Oh, wow, okay. Thank you for having me.
Yes. We are looking forward to great engagement with you. And also, we would like to thank you for sponsoring this show.
It's a pleasure.
That has to be mentioned. It's not an advertisement, but you can't have a show of this nature without any assistance. So we really appreciate your efforts, that you saw our vision and our dream and said, you know what, we are willing to see how we can come through. So thank you very much.
It's an honor.
Over and above that, who is Mpho and how did you start your journey in establishing your own business?
Okay. Mpho is a girl, from a rural girl. I always say I'm from the farms. I'm a farm girl, and Mpho has always seen entrepreneurship around her in terms of her parents. My parents are entrepreneurs. The two of them, they've never worked for anyone. They've always worked for themselves, and so I think for lack of a better word, I would say I sucked it from my mother's bosom. so that's who Mpho is. I love challenges. I thrive on challenges. I love, I always say I dream big. I'm a big dreamer, and I always want to find out how can I make the dreams work. So yeah, that's Mpho in a nutshell. I'm an entrepreneur.
And you now owning a big PPE company in South Africa. When I say South Africa, I mean in terms of assets, in terms of stock value. How did you, out of all the businesses, think that you would go and manufacture overalls and all this stuff that we see, and also sell makarapas and all that, which is regarded as men's industry, by the way? What inspired you to venture into that kind of a business?
Women. The answer to your question is so simple. Women inspired me to get into the business. In this industry, technical, the hard labor industries, those are the industries that were made for men by men. So the clothing for those industries were made by men for men, and women were left behind. So fortunately for us as women, we are now coming into those industries and we're saying we can hold our own. But now we are left behind with proper clothing. So PPE is personal protective equipment. So there's PPC, which is personal protective clothing. So that's where the inspiration came from, that we need to have proper fitting clothes that will keep us safe. And this also includes the equipment in terms of your gloves, your safety shoes, and all of that. And that is still a challenge, but we are getting there. Step by step, we're going to be solving all the issues that women face. And of course, yes, the bigger market is the men. And that's why we cater for everyone, but we do like to focus on women as well because they do need the attention.
Thank you very much. Do you find it easy to get into the market, to penetrate the market, to knock at the doors of companies, especially now that we are faced with COVID, where you can't even go to conferences to exchange cards? Do you find it easy to really reach out to these big companies? Do they listen when you knock at the door?
It's a toss. It's a toss of a coin, because you do get companies that are open, that are willing to listen to us and welcome us in, but getting to do business with them is more of a mission than any other thing. Remember, we are still very small. We are growing now. And we are competing with giants that have been in the industry for decades of years. Whereas this is our third year of formally trading, and we are trying to hold our own. But you find that there are companies and corporates that are deliberate in making sure that they do welcome us in. Well, doing business with us is another thing. Our pricing, our quality, they are used to these big corporates giving them what they want, when they want, with the speed of lightning, whereas we are still catching up. But we are slowly creating our own
So
market.
are you saying that for any company to position itself best and be able to deliver pricing, your quality, compliance, and all these issues, they play a bigger role?
It's vital. All those elements, each and every one of them, are the most important things that your business has to be formalized before you can even get to go in and knock, because everyone has to be compliant. They have to be compliant, we have to be compliant. So reaching out to them, you have to know your story. That's the first thing. We're not talking about once-off things. We're talking about being consistent. And when you're building consistency, you have to know what you are doing, how you're going to do it, and how it's all going to work out.
And here is a small business. They've done all the compliance. They are meeting all the conditions and the terms. They've renewed their SARS and everything. But the door is still closed in their faces. How do they make sure that they push the door? What else can they put into the effort to do that?
It's a matter of patience. It's a matter of being persistent. It's a matter of being in their eyes all the time and saying, we are still here. No, we know you've got so-and-so that has been serving you for the past 100 years, but we are here and we are saying we are agile. We will accommodate what you want us to accommodate. How do we serve you better? If not better, how do we make sure that we get part of your procurement budget? Because that's very important. I think what most entrepreneurs are scared of is asking for the budget, to be part of that budget and saying, we are here, guys. We want to compete. We want to work. But if you're not going to allow us and let us come in, we might as well pack up and go home.
And how many percentage do you get from small businesses or versus big businesses in your company currently in terms of orders?
Okay, the big batch of the orders are coming from the corporates, but the small businesses are coming up. And I think this is where I would like to stress that as small businesses, there is so much business amongst us. We miss that opportunity because we are looking at the bigger guys. Whereas you've got your small construction companies, your civil companies, you've got your electricians, you've got your mechanics that you can always approach, and they will buy. Whether they buy 5 overalls or they buy 5 t-shirts, it's a sale. Entrepreneurs most of the time, they think of sales with the big numbers, and they forget when the small sales are coming in every day, it adds up.
I walked in today and I saw a jacket that I liked, the one I'm wearing now. Who are the creative team behind it? Because for me, this is more like your ordinary work suit. but you gave it a touch of African kind of, you know. Do you create it in-house, and how do your customers receive it, you know?
We've got an in-house designer. We are fortunate that when we sat down and did the planning, we knew which points to cover. And we are still learning. There's still others that are coming up that, oh, we need to cover this, oh, we need to cover that.
Mm-hmm.
But fortunately, we thought of having an in-house designer, because we always say one of our differentiators is that we do custom made. So when we do custom made, it means that we will give you something different, something that we even give you an opportunity to choose from 3 designs, which is not something that the big guys will do. They give you what they give you, take it or leave it, whereas we will give you their attention.
I just wanted to, in closing, to give 2 messages. One to small businesses, encouraging them. The other one to corporate, in terms of what are the needs of small businesses, how can they open doors for small businesses, and the value that it will bring to small businesses.
Okay. To small businesses, always remember your why. That is the most important thing. When you wake up in the morning as an entrepreneur, remember why you started what you started. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than profits. Yes, every business needs to get profits, but the profits come with what your purpose is. Never forget that. Corporates, be open to us. Keep your doors open, and when you see that there is somewhere where we are lacking, guide us, because only an opportunity can give results to greatness. We are here, we are agile, we are flexible, we are willing to work. Most importantly, it's most of the time I find that corporates will say they doubt that, do you think you'll be able to deliver? And I always say, put us to the test and see what will happen.
Mpho, thank you very much for your time, and wishing Pepper Solutions all the best through this COVID, and we hope that the business will grow and employ more women, because I see you've got women all over. So really, thank you very much. That is Nzavi Derek. See you next time.
Thank you.